you're home with the kids this summer and tired of hearing "I'm bored" before lunchtime, we've got just the solution. From science experiments to tech-fueled fun, we are sharing activities that will keep your kids engaged and learning all season long. Here to help us out is Stephanie, owner of Mobile STEM Academy. So welcome to the show. Great to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me again.
Yeah, I know this is about the time where, kids are starting to get a little bit antsy, So what can parents do to kind of keep those creative juices flowing?
Absolutely. So kids get worn out very quickly because they're not in school and they have long days ahead for the summer. They may be in summer camps, but there's still many hours at home that the parents may want to find some time to do something hands-on and learning. So there are a lot of activities at home that fall into the STEM category that can use recyclable materials and easy ingredients found in the kitchen. And one of those today I wanted to show you is a lava lamp.
Okay.
And the cool thing about a lava lamp is not only is it scientific and it teaches kids about chemical reactions, but you can still use it long after the initial creation. It can turn into a sensory bottle for the kids, and it can also be reignited, and the chemical reaction can continue just by adding some easy, inexpensive effervescent tablets.
Oh, okay. And so you said a lot of these materials that we're going to use today, we probably already have in our homes. So
Absolutely.
Where should we start?
So I'll just show you these are old recycled Downy bottles from the laundry room, and they're great plastic. They would otherwise end up in perhaps a yard, garbage, landfill. So you can take these, clean them out, take the cover off, and because they close very nicely, it's a great sensory bottle for a lava lamp.
Yeah, okay.
So you can see this one's actually got a little bit of an experiment going, the chemical reaction. But the really cool thing that I'll show you in just a moment is how the science works behind this.
Yes.
So I've got a real lava lamp here, and it's been going for hours, but they take a lot of electricity and they get very hot, so you don't want younger children to touch them.
Okay.
So to do your own, I'm using a giant Erlenmeyer flask to represent a plastic bottle. It can be a water bottle, a soda bottle, and it can be any size.
Okay, so you can use like something like this instead of that.
Or you can use a small, soda bottle.
Okay.
Totally fine. So you're going to get oil of any kind from your kitchen. It can be vegetable, canola, olive oil, whatever oil you have hanging around your house. And you're going to fill your container up about halfway or a little more with oil, and then you're going to add water.
Okay.
But part of the science comes into play when we add our water, and tap water is just fine.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be any fancy water.
Right.
But you'll notice that as I pour this water in, we have a lot of oil bubbles because oil and water do not mix. It is a scientific term known as density. So the water is going to be more dense, and I try to explain to children when we do our STEM field trips that density is kind of like weight. The more you weigh, you aren't going to sink. You're going to sink, you're not going to float.
Right.
So as these two would separate, you would end up getting, and I'll show you this one here, you'll end up getting a layer of water and a layer of oil. But to make this chemical reaction happen, you're going to make it a little fun for kids. They can add any kind of food color at home, and I've just chosen a purple. Everyone likes purple. And as the drops go in, they don't explode in the oil because they are water-based, and they will turn the water at the bottom, whichever color your kiddos choose.
Cool. Right.
And that's why this one is blue. Okay, and then when we add our Alka-Seltzer or Efferdent, Alka-Seltzer tablets work great to make the lava lamp because they create this chemical reaction.
Okay.
And they're going to generate carbon dioxide as a byproduct, and all of our water on the bottom will be attached to those air bubbles, and they're going to float to the top, kind of like they're hitching a ride. So it's going to create this really cool lava lamp effect. And the darker the color is, and I'll show you in this other one as well, but you can see the bubbles going from the bottom to the top. That is a chemical reaction, and our Alka-Seltzer tablets were the catalyst. So these are really, really fun scientific terms that kiddos learn in elementary school, and they continue to use them on through high school and when they go to college as well. But you can see now it's really, the chemical reaction is really going.
So cool.
Yeah. So the parents can do this multiple times with the kids. These boxes you can buy Amazon, gets them to you quickly. Walmart, anywhere really,
Yeah.
any place with a pharmacy. But the other cool thing is if you happen to use an Effervent or an Efferdent tablet, it's a little different than the Alka-Seltzer, and it will create an erupting lava flow.
Okay.
You have to make sure you're outside or you have
That's
your
where you
space
get that, like,
covered.
volcano.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So if we added, I'll just show you. We'll get a little bit more. I'm going to use
Okay.
some Efferdent in here.
Oh, we're gonna make this a powerful one. All right.
So.
Because you're saying, like, after you have this, you can, like, redo it
Over and
kinda
over and over and over.
again, which
And
is
you can
kinda fun.
add the art piece by having your children decorate the outside with Sharpies.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So we add our Efferdent, which is a little bit different type of tablet, and it's going to create more of a chemical reaction.
Cool.
And a tip for parents, the more tablets they add, the more mess there's going to be,
Okay.
and the more fun. Typically, when we do these, and we've done this lab a lot,
Yeah.
we get a lot of screams, a lot of yells.
Right.
Kids
Look
get
at
really
that.
excited when it starts to overflow.
So cool.
So now we've taken one recyclable material with kitchen ingredients,
Yeah.
and we've created 2 different STEM activities, and then they can reuse it as a sensory bottle for the months to come, over and over again.
So cool. You have so many amazing ideas. And so you have a camp coming up that we can find on your website. And you
Yes.
also have locations where if a parent who maybe doesn't know all these scientific terms and wants someone else to help them, that
Yeah.
where you're going to be throughout the area. right?
Absolutely. On our website, we've got a calendar tab, and it shows all the community places that we'll be at. We do a lot of drop-ins for summer camps. We go to YMCA's, we go to libraries. We're
Yeah.
in several Pinellas County libraries. And you just check that calendar tab. It'll show you where we're at and how to register with that venue. And yeah, we'd love to have parents sign up.
So fun and so creative. Thanks so much for coming on. Really
Thanks for having
appreciate
me.
it. And if you want to get in touch with Stephanie, you can visit her website, mobilestemacademy.com.